heart of the Netherlands, amidst blooming tulip fields and winding canals, also blossomed an ephemeral deep love. Wim was a man deeply in love, passionately in love. His eyes sparkled with affection as he spoke of his wife. Their love story woven into the very fabric of their existence. Their love was like a dance, a beautiful rhythm that echoed through the seasons. Wim and his wife embraced life joys and challenges with a bond that seemed unbreakable. Wim's world revolved around her. Her laughter was like melody that played in the background of his life, and her presence was the warmth that lit up even the darkest of days. But grief became Wim's unwelcome companion soon. The once vibrant color of his world faded into the shades of grey, and the laughter that once filled their home was replaced by a haunting silence. Death of Wim's wife shook him deeply. The darkest of days brought an added taste of memories and immense grief. That too was until amidst the abyss of sorrow, Wim discovered a solace and unexpected place, a breathing technique that held the promise of healing, an unbroken promise. It became a lifeline, offering him a path out of the darkness. The regularity and commitment with breathwork, Wim developed his own breathing technique, which took him beyond shadows of darkness, far into the light of life. He not only beat the sorrow, but transcended into a superhuman. Someone who seemed to have no effect of cold on himself.
I always will embrace the unknown. In 2008, I came up. Up there, they say it's very cold and windy and half the oxygen. But I took on the challenge.
It was like he built a deep relationship with cold. Ice baths and meditation in Ice Age became his daily rituals. Breathing transformed his computational sports to swimming under ice without breath, setting an unbreakable record, and thus formed, with the help of Breathe, Wim Hof, the superhuman Iceman on the face of this planet. But my friend, what are you doing with your breath? It's upon you if you become a superhuman or let this exhilarating weapon go to waste. What is the secret of this normal daily thing? Tell me, my friend, tell me, what is the deepest secret of breath? So, what is breathing? Keeping this thing in mind, that for this particular video, I'm not going into that depth of breathing, the spiritual depth, the cosmic depth, I would call it as much as I went. However, in the coming videos, in the coming second part, third part of this series, of this video, I'll be getting into that depth. For now, some part I'll try to explain you in depth. For example, what is breathing? So the deep meaning of breathing, the deep definition of breathing is not just you breathing in, you breathing out. That's not the breath work. I mean, that is the breath work, you breathing in, you breathing out. However, our body also breathes through the pores of the skin, through the mind. okay, through everywhere. You're always breathing through your body, including the nose and mind. Everything here is breathing. If you just see that curtain, that chair behind me, okay, it's breathing because it's taking in some molecules, it's letting out some molecules, right? If we just define breathing by this intake and outlet of air, that's what, like, then everything is breathing here, every damn thing. But why have we still defined, we in the sense our ancestors as well and our books as well, why have they defined breathing as an utterly unique thing, an utterly unique thing that is unique to a human being, that is unique to a living being? Why is breathing unique to living being? Here's where you need to understand that breathing is not just intake and outlet of air through any part of your body, through any molecule. It's the function that is performed, it's the function, it's the energy that is generated, and it's the part of the energy that gets transferred to various part of your body, because that's not is what done by the other things, the other stuff like the curtain or the chair behind me. Breathing is a generative process, is a constructive process, and the opposite of that is a destructive process, that's not breathing or breathing improperly, and we'll come to it later in the video. So finally, all in all, long story short, how can we define breathing in our terms, not scientifically? Breathing is intake and outlet of molecules, which leads to the interaction of those molecules and starts a process which creates the energy to be used for various purposes. There you go, my friend. That's your definition for breathing. These molecules, they interact, they create energy and stuff, but they don't breathe because their process is a bit different, right? Correct. Now, with this, with that said, breathing, suppose I stop breathing. It's just the stoppage of intake of molecule and outlet of molecules, right? But it also is not creating that particular energy. Okay, my organs, my system, my energy, which has been generated throughout this process, throughout this period, is just um, is just inertia. It's inertial because they have been generated for quite a few times now, and there is some energy stored into myself, and there is a specific amount of energy stored into the organs and a specific motion they already created, and thus these organs and the systems of these made by these organs is in process even when I stopped my breath work. And after some time, then you know that as soon as they went out of inertia, they went out of energy, the process will come to end. The systems will stop, the organs will die, and eventually I will die. You will die if you stop breathing. That's how important is breathing. And thus, very well said in our scriptures, in our books, that breathing is a life force. In the Hindu scriptures, to be specific, it's called as prana. It's called as prana shakti, and through yoga today, it is spreading all over the world that what is prana shakti, what is prana. It's the life force. So, all in all, breathing is a life force. That's why I call breathing life force, and you agree to that. Why? It is also the life force because it controls your life. See to your life, like watch to it. Right? Just observe a bit. Breathe very fastly now. Breathe fastly with me. Breathe fastly and think something negative. Okay, breathe fastly, think something negative, or breathe fastly and think something, a lustful thought. What is happening to you? You're getting that butterflies in your stomach. You're getting that weird feeling in your stomach, in your brain, in your mind. That's your mood. Now breathe fastly, and after that, go on a stage and try speaking. You won't be able to do that. You won't be able to do that. Even with your normal speed of breathing, you are not able to do that. Why? Because in today's age, you, like your friends and your surrounding, all of you are degenerates, right? All of you eat food that's a crap, breathe air that's a crap, listen to things that's a crap, you process thoughts in a crappy way, and that is basically the creation of your irregular breath, or really sped up breath work, or really slow breath work. For example, when you go into a cold shower, just try going into the cold shower, you will be forced to hold your breath back. That's unhealthy. Go into a crowd where nowadays you guys are mostly, your breath is super fast, you're smelling the sweat. You, that's completely unhealthy. And now with me, just breathe in deeply and breathe out deeply. Stop for a moment. Now breathe in, breathe out, and open your eyes. Just with these few breaths, see how your mood just disappears. Your your initial mood disappears, and now you're a better person. You're in a better mood. So this is how this breath force, your life force, controls your mood and thus your every aspect of the life, because your hormones are dependent on this mood. Your mentality depends on the mood. For example, if my laptop falls down, right, and I get really mad at myself or at the laptop, the mentality then creates is, or the neuron that connects, okay, the neural pathway forms is that the laptop, if it falls on the ground, it's a bad thing, right? Breathing controls your thought process. That's how important breathing is. It can break you or it can make you in life. For example, you got into a fight. Suppose you are alone on a street and there are some guys fighting over there, and you went there, they saw you, and now they are completely angry. Why? Obviously they are breathing the unhealthy way. If they just slow their breathing down, they'll not be angry, they'll be happy. I can't say that, but the feelings, the mood will be neutralized. But now they're angry, they're breathing the unhealthy way. You are breathing the unhealthy way. The only thing comes to your mind is run. Why is that? It's because of your primal, your primitive brain. If you don't have that primitive brain, if you don't have that primitive action to reaction, that impulsive reaction, you would be dead. But you run, and thus you're in control in your this little back of mind. And that is unhealthy again, man, because that's just a normal way of living. The most you can take out of this life, or create out of this life with a primitive brain, is eating, is having sex, and is sleeping. That's it. You'll just survive. And even animals to survive. And here's where I would like to make a point that as a human, knowing about breathing and these techniques which will take us beyond survive, well, is really, really, really important. All right. You got into the fight. On that instant, now suppose you have been doing, all this pranayama, all these breath works, different kind of breath works. Your nasal pathway is free. Do you see my nasal pathway right now? I am taking the and full breath. I can feel my breath reaching my head, reaching my throat, and going beneath, going above and beyond, and all throughout my body. You can feel that breath. Now, why my nasal pathway is that much free? You breathe now. You're feeling that little chunks of mucus blocking your breath, and thus you are not able to speak freely, not able to live freely. You're angry at yourself. And here I am. It feels really amazing to even see someone breathe this amazing way. Amazing, right? Do you want this free nasal pathway? I'll teach you that. But stay tuned in the video. You're breathing the slow way. Okay? And just imagine your nasal pathway is completely free. You're breathing fully. You're breathing up the right way, which I'll be talking about later. And you saw those guys. You're completely calm. And your head is still working faster than ever. You are intelligent because you have been practicing this breath work, and all the oxygen is going to your head. Your head is receiving the enough oxygen, receiving enough or maybe more than enough energy. And now your brain is super intelligent. You are super intelligent. You're super confident. You see those guys, you're calm. You don't make an eye contact, though you know that they saw you, and you go across the street beyond the point where they are standing. You go into that restaurant and you fulfill yourself with your favorite dish, where from your primitive brain you ran away, killing yourself, killing your desire. You now go ahead and you were able to fulfill yourself. You go. Those guys was trying to scare you, but you go with full confidence to the restaurant. You ate, came back the same path. This is what breathing does to you. Breathing gives you an ability to sense pleasure, to sense beforehand, to sense difficulty, to sense problem, to sense the solution. And this is what makes you like super intelligent guy in the room, super intelligent girl in the room. You know what I mean? And as I'm getting to it, breathing also has the power to heal your body. It's one of the spiritual medicines you'll need to heal your body, right? So when I started to do, this breathing, I healed myself. You can go on to the YouTube and see my monk mode shorts, and they're on like day 3 or day 4 before the first failure. I made a video stating that my nose is clogged up and my throat is sore and I can feel the cold and stuff. But I healed myself up from that just because I was doing my breathing, and no matter how ill I am, I was intact to my rituals. And one of the rituals was the breath work, everyday breath work. Body healed itself. Now my nasal pathway is free most of the times, right? It's free. And the time when it's free will increase, and then it will be like free forever. And then I can breathe like a dawn, like a king. And you can breathe like a queen, like a kings, like queens, right? That's the beauty. That's the beauty. Breathing has power that it gives to your body, and your body. Scientists have said that your body has capability to heal itself from cancer, from even the cancer. Just give it a time and some spiritual medicine. That's it. That's it. The glow up. If you want to glow up, if you can feel your skin, this skin is bad, and you can just see your face acting all weird, and like you're unhappy with your face, not the shape, structure, the color. Even with that, just try breathing. Start your spiritual journey. You'll see that glow up, and you'll no more be unhappy with your body, especially with your face. When you look into your mirror, you'll see that glow. You're black, you're white, doesn't matter. You'll see the glow. You see the light, and you'll be more confident than ever. And over a period of time, all those minor imperfections, they'll fade away. Your pimples, they'll fade away. You'll have this baby face. That's what the power of breathing is. But the question is, why do I say breathing is God? Shedding some more light upon how important is breathing, I would like to say that remember the time when you were in your mother's womb as an embryo, as a not even a baby. Remember that time? What a nonsense thing to say, right? Anyways, so when you were an embryo, right? An embryo into the womb, you were still breathing. Even when your nose wasn't developed, you were still breathing, through your skin, through your whatever part you were having. And through that you were producing the energy. So the breathing starts at your birth, that energy you need. So breathing gives you energy. You are able to develop your body because of breathing. So this also proves my point that the statement that your body has immense power and utter capability to heal itself via breathing is true. So when you're an embryo, you started to breathe and your body kind of started to heal itself and thus developing into a baby. Then you came out and you started to actually breathe through nose and stuff, right? And that's why, by the way, you didn't drown over there. Well, I don't know much science. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, right? But yeah, that was the point. So breathing is the reason of your birth. Breathing is the reason of your death. Breathing is the reason for your life and the way of your life. Who else does that? Who else? You guys call it God, right? You guys give that position of God to such a thing, to such an energy, to such a cosmic power, right? So why not breathing can we call as God? You're getting my point, right? You know what I'm saying, right? So that's why breathing is God. Now, what is above God? Well, the breathing comes above your food, water, your basic needs. Breathing is not your basic need. Breathing is a gift, is a blessing. Breathing is not a basic need. Why? Because it's there. If it's not there, you won't be able to try and ask for any other basic need, brother. No way. Okay, so breathing is not a basic need, but breathing is an utter necessity, and it's the blessing to us by the power. So now breathing is God. Suppose there is God, and you want, suppose in mind, you want some money, and you're asking God to, God, please give me money. Who do you ask it for? To God, right? And the most important thing in the entire universe, the most important energy in the entire universe is God itself. So suppose if you put something above God, will you get it or not? Will you get it or not? You will surely, right? So here, my friend, what the point I'm trying to make is that if you put something above God, you are bound to get that thing really, extremely and flatteringly and surprisingly and shockingly soon. And so, as the breath has that position of God, if you stop your breath for a minute and think about something, you're giving that thing importance over your breath, and thus, according to the priority list, you're bound to get that thing extremely soon because you're giving it importance above your breath. And this is what the yogis do. They want God, they stop the breathing, they put it above their breathing, they give it an utter importance. And that there, my friend, I just explained you the manifestation, the technique of manifestation using your breath. The detailed video will be in the future, as I just said earlier, right? Just think about it now, right? Now, how do yogis use breath as a life force? The yogis You might have heard about some yogis, like they are alive from like thousands of years, from thousands and 10,000s and millions and billions of years. The yogis are alive till today. They are alive in ages and centuries and yugas. They are still there. They are alive today. It is all just because of your breath. Breath is your is your currency. Breath is your currency. Save it, create it, invest it, produce it, and also spend it wisely. And yogis know that. One technique they use to stay alive for such a huge period of time is to hold their breath out, and thus to hold their prana out. So they are basically dead, but not consciously dead. They can take that thing into them, take that prana into them with their breath, and actually then will create that energy again, and will be able to move their body. In the meantime, as they are sitting and meditating, due to that consciousness and due to that constant process which they were in before being meditatively dead, that their body is continuously healing itself, not producing any waste, but just in the pure energy form. It is there, it is still there. And then when they want to meet their followers or anything or something like that, they breathe in again and they become like physically alive, right? Materialistically alive. And this is how yogis use breath to stay alive for like many years. Let me tell you one story over here. The story is that there was a yogi on a mountain, let's call it as Himalayan mountains, right? There was a yogi, or yeah, there was a yogi in Himalaya. It is a real story, by the way. Okay? It is a real story from the time of Sant Jnaneshwar. Okay, if you know Saint Jnaneshwar from India, it's a story from his time. And yeah, and I don't particularly know what it has to do with him, but there was something to do with him. So basically, that yogi was there, and so his death came. And in Indian rituals, we call it the god of death. So Yamaraja, the god of death, he comes and takes away the soul of that from the body. So that death came to the yogi. It was time for him to die, as per the laws of nature. Yamaraja comes. Where is the soul? Where is the soul? The yogi saw Yamaraja from afar. He meditates. He breathes into a certain stage. He breathes completely out. So much so that the prana shakti, the life force gets out of his body. And now he's technically dead. Yamaraja comes and sees him. And he sees that the yogi is dead. And he thinks to himself, wow, the law has been happened, my work is done, the yogi is dead. He went back. And then when he goes, the yogi breathes in with the life force, becomes alive again. Happy ending? No, not yet. The story is still going on. The next time Yamaraja sees this, oh my god, what? The death again comes. The Yamaraja comes to the same yogi. The yogi does the same thing, breaths completely out. The life force is out now. The yogi is technically dead into the meditative state. Yamaraja sees this, oh, he's dead. Goes back. Yogi breathes in, again, living happily ever after. Not ever, but after. Yamaraja comes, the yogi does the same thing. Yamaraja goes again. And this was a havoc, because Yamaraja, the god of death, the yogi, has basically beat the law of death, the law of nature. The yogi has beat the death. He went beyond death at this point, at this moment of time, right? So Yamaraja goes to the gods and something like that, and then he requests, and then upon the request of someone, And here's where the role of Sant Jnaneshwar comes into place or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm right, but like if any of my viewers they know the story, please write it down in the comment section. But yeah, this happens, and then upon the request of someone, the yogi then finally meets the death. When Yamaraja comes again, the yogi does not do his breath work, the trek, and he actually gives his soul to Yamaraja. The moral of the story, the true story, is that the breath work has that power to take you beyond death. You die at your will. You live at your will. And if you conquer the life and death, who can conquer you then? No one, no fucking world in this entire, no fucking human being or anything in this entire world can conquer you except that supreme energy, that supreme power, right? The Yogi Raja, the kings of all the yogis, only him. But you're basically unconquerable now. Conquer the life and death. No one can conquer you, my man. No one. This is what the power of breathwork is. Now, I'm not saying you that you will become that. No. Because you're a normal human being. I'm a normal human being, okay? But you can approach that, right? You can approach that perfection. You're not a yogi, but you can approach that perfection, okay? You'll conquer most of the things, most of the moods into your life. You'll conquer the healing, okay? If you got scratch, you can conquer that. The time for healing, I want it to heal faster. You will have the power to do it, my friend. You literally have that power to do it, right? You'll have the power to conquer over your fever, over your bad health. Just the way it is. It sounds too good to be true, but it's a fact, my friend. It's a fact. You just have to start breathing. So this is what the spiritual power of breathing is. But the next question takes us towards the further part is how do you even breathe incorrectly? This sounds really funny, right? But still, let's ask us this question. How incorrect are we in the art of breathing? So, coming to the part of how even if you have been breathing for multiple births now, you can still breathe incorrectly. How is that humanly possible? Well, look, when I got myself initiated into the journey of self-improvement, one thing was clear to me. I was walking incorrectly, I was eating incorrectly, I was sleeping incorrectly, I was even breathing incorrectly, and many more I was doing incorrectly. This is not the question of correct and incorrect, proper and improper. This is just the question of the goal. What are you pursuing? Your parents taught you how to walk, eat, breathe, and talk over here. And you know that they have been taught by their parents. Were they rich? Were they the leader of the world? Were they the dictator? Were they the influencer? Were they the best speaker? Were they the best athlete or the best mathematician? They weren't. And they taught you. And this is where the point comes. If they taught you, that means you are acting in the same way they are, and it is completely foolish. Okay, it has been very well said that it is completely foolishness to expect a different result when you are performing the same experiment in the similar way. So if you have been acting, walking, speaking, talking, joking, thinking in the way your parents did and your grandparents did and the way before that, and you're expecting that you'll be rich and you'll be a great personality in your dreams, buddy, in your dream. And if you want to change something, you want to change the way you do things. And that's why when I got into spirituality, into self-improvement, I realized that yes, I have been taught all of this, yes, I know how to do all of this, but I was doing it in the incorrect way. All right. And but in today's topic is, how are you breathing the incorrect way? Even I was, or maybe I wasn't. I was breathing the correct way before today. Yeah, but like that was just a normal breathing, and that was the secret of my energy in a very young age, like in the past, right? That's why I was able to grab onto the spiritual concepts and the practices in a really early age, right? That was just because maybe I think that I was unconsciously, I mean, what subconsciously, I mean, unwillingly, or anything, unwillingly breathing correctly. So what is correct breathing? This, no, the there are certain types of correct breathing. Okay, so over here I'll go through to certain points. Okay, well, the incorrect breathing I'm talking about, right? So first, so what do you even mean by incorrect breathing? Just that I did, that was an incorrect breathing. Breathing through your nose, breathing through your mouth. Firstly, your face is going to be completely distorted after a few years. And even now, if you have been breathing through your mouth, if you have been a mouth breather, you will look like this lousy human being, really lazy. If you're a mouth breather, if you breathe through your nose, you have this energy in your face that people could sense, feel, see. Right, right, right. The next is breathing the normal way, like your tongue is hanging away from the roof, like the upper roof. I do this and like touch the upper part of your mouth, and that's what I call it as a roof. It has some biological name to it, but I'm not a biologist, right? So touch your chin to that, like this. Touch all the way to the end of the roof, and then swallow your saliva and keep your posture that way. So I'm going to do it now. Now that was the structure of my mouth. That's called as mewing. But mewing just, I mean, besides fixing the structure of your face, it has a huge purpose to be fulfilled in your breathing technique and energy conservation or energy creation in your body. When you mew and breathe in that state, all your air does not go into your mouth or anywhere else. It goes straight through your nasal pathway into your brain, into your lungs, into the position where the energy can be created, and it does not go to waste, and so you're breathing fully. Next, it also very much increases your lung capacity and also the energy creation. So it goes without saying. Then next way you're breathing incorrectly is it comes down to your body. Then, all right, you're breathing through your lungs, but not really, because you're pumping your chest out, in and out, in and out, especially the guys out there. Okay, in order to appear, in order to hide your belly fat, you pump out your chest and pump in your chest, right? And that's not the way you breathe. Breathe through the stomach. Experience your stomach bulging out and going in, sinking in. You can see my chest. coming up and down, but I can, oh man, how can okay, so you can just, you can just see my stomach right now. Okay, so see it. Okay, so it's like it's stomach coming out when you're taking your air in, like that, and then you're feeling air through from your stomach into your chest if you want to breathe more deeply. So that's what you do. So if you want to breathe deeply, first stomach fills in and then your chest pumps out. That's what the chronologically correct order is. Okay, breathe through your stomach. So how to practice it? Every day for a few minutes, whenever you get aware of your breath, feel if you're breathing through your stomach. If when you're breathing in, your chest is bulging out or your stomach is bulging out. Now if you're thinking that, then, oh Rohan, the girls are gonna see how fat I am, then fucking go to the gym. Okay. But the funny part is that even if the people see how fat you are, but just you're breathing through your stomach and you're breathing freely, you build that confidence, as I said earlier. So the people see your confidence and they automatically get attracted to you even if you're fat. Because you're breathing the right way, you're breathing through your stomach. That's what the magical part is, right? So breathe through your stomach. Don't worry, no one is gonna say anything. With your stomach. And the part was I was doing, the correct unwillingly was a mewing, but I wasn't mewing the way I told you. I was mewing into a different mudra. When I got into spirituality, then I come to know that there is name to this mudra which I was doing. So it's, just roll back your tongue and then touch the down part of your tongue to the roof of your mouth. And then breathe. That's what you do during the meditation as well. Then the tongue stretches and stretches and stretches. The thing that connects your tongue to the lower part of your mouth, and that skinny part, the yogis cut that part. Like they literally cut that part so that they can stretch their tongue completely all the way through, and they can put their tongue into their throat and touch their tonsil over here, and then they meditate. What it does, suspense for the next video, but they do that. This is a real story. Many yogis did that. I can right now recommend you, tell you a name, and you can search it up, and he did that. And there are many more that we don't even know about. So that is one of the part of the spiritual practices. And then they keep on pulling that tongue out so that it will stretch over time, and they can then they can just roll it into here. So that's called as Khechari mudra. The Khechari is the name of a bird, and that bird does that, and that also creates an immense amount of energy into your body. And that energy is in so much amount that they use it into yoga, the highest meditative state. There's an immense amount of energy it creates. So that's what you do. So that's how you do breathe properly into really normal circumstances. Till today, you have been holding your stomach in and breathing through like this. What, you are a girl? Even girls shouldn't do that. Breathe through your tummy, girls, okay? Guys will be more attracted to you if you look confident, right? So yeah, so breathe through your stomach. Let your stomach bulge out. If you're fat, go to the gym. Perfect. Now this is all, if you listen to Hamza and stuff, they have been talking really better about this breathing technique, this normal breathing. But I went even deeper, and that is through the nadis. Now there are many nadis into our body. Nadis are channels. Nadis are called as channels. Okay, and how are you breathing in properly through them? And it will take years for you from here to breathe properly and to experience the result. The the technique, the proper technique which I just suggested, will give you result tomorrow, a week after, or 2 weeks after. But this, what I'm going to be talking now, will give you results after years, where it is worth practicing. So I won't go into the depth of this concept or the concepts I'll be talking about. But yeah, this concept is about the nadis. Now, nadis are the channels. Okay, nadis means channels. The channels into our body. Now, you know what are channels for, okay? To transfer, for the transportation of something from point A to point B, right? Now, the channels in our body are mainly, or the channels which I'm talking about are mainly for these two purposes. First, transferring the breath. Second, transferring the energy. Okay, cool. With that said, there are many channels into our bodies, into my body, and so will be yours. Okay, so there are many channels into my body. Are all the structures are all the same. According to the scriptures, there are 72,000 channels and even more than that into our bodies, according to the yogic scriptures. I'll not call it as an Indian scripture or anything like that, but the yogic scripture, and you know, like yoga is like the highest science, right? So yeah, so spare me for that. Cool. But we don't have to focus on all those channels, because if those channels got activated, bro, you will not stay over here. You'll be this pure form of energy. You can travel, you can astral travel, you can travel here, there, anywhere. Just if your one or two channels got opened, man, you'll be a superhuman. You'll be a yogi. So don't just talk about all the channels opening. If you're all channels opened, you'll be Yogi Raja, which I was talking about, the kings of all the yogis, the kings of all the superhumans and the supernatural power, the controller of the world, the controller of the cosmos. That's what you will be. For now, over here, we'll be talking about three main channels. Three main channels. Out of those three as well, we'll talk about two. But let me tell you this first, that all of these channels are not found physically, or that you can see visibly into your body. Some of them are visible, some of them are abstract in the sense they are mental channels. For example, the energy is created, okay, and you're using it for, maybe you're focusing over here. So that channel, that chakras which are connected from your Mooladhara chakra to your Agnya and then to your this crown chakra, they are not connected to any kind of cell or any kind of vein or anything. So this channel which goes through all of them is abstract channel, is invisible, but it is a channel. It is built. That's why it's this chronological order that has been formed. And also it makes sense why I told you the chronological order of first breathe into your stomach and then go to your chest, then it comes to your nose and then head, like that, because it's a channel. It's that channel, right? And that is one example we are going to talk about, that is called as Shushumna. Okay, all these are kind of Sanskrit words right now, so all my viewers over there, grasp it. No need to understand them, understand their functions, which I'll be telling into English only. So that channel which stretches from your Mooladhara to your crown chakra straight is called as Sushumna Nadi or Sushumna channel. The next two channels are Ida and Pingala. Okay, so one of the two is your left nose, is your left nostril, represented by the left nostril, and one of them are represented by the right nostril, according to me. Okay, and I don't know which of them, and I won't be telling it into this video because I don't want to get that deeper. So yeah, so it's this way. Okay, so this is Ida, this is Pingala, for example, and they go this way. Okay, they go like a snake coiling together, two snakes coiling together, like that. And their intersection points, like, see, this is first intersection, then they go. This is second intersection, then they go. So these intersections are where our chakras stay. And one snake that goes straight up, supporting these two snakes is Sushumna. Okay, so when you activate Ida and Pingala is when your Sushumna gets activated. Know what I mean? Getting it? Cool. So because these nadis, now activating the nadis are not like activating them. They are still activated, but they are not strengthened, or they are impure. Now you know what happens when the cars, that the engine is impure, from where the smoke gets out, from where all the dirt gets out. How those pipes, there are channels. When they get dust into them, when they get impure, your car heats up. No matter how much coolant you put into it, it heats up frequently, and it does not work correctly. So you are not working perfectly because your nadis, your channels, your pipes are impure. And activating them is just purifying them. Activating chakras is just purifying the chakras, because chakras are still activated. I mean, yeah, still working. That's why you are living your life, right? So yeah. So purifying these nadis is one of the breathing techniques. You cannot breathe perfectly until these nadis are purified, because the channels are not purified. So what is even the matter? Okay, your breath is not going to supply you that amazing amount of energy, that full amount of energy. There is going to be some impurity, right? Even when you're breathing through your stomach perfectly, normalized perfection, general perfection, there is some energy that is going to waste into that impurity. So this is one thing I want to touch my thought upon: the purification of nadis, the purification of channels. Next is there are many techniques actually, but like what to explain, right? So yeah, so purification of these nadis is one of the proper breathing technique. Now, how you can purify these nadis? Now you'll see the result into few years, but believe me, it is worth, because while the normalized perfect breathing shows you result in few months, the result of purifying the nadis compared to this result is much greater. The impact, the threshold is much bigger, is much greater. Like when you breathe in normalized perfection, your intelligence goes this much up, this much improvement goes into this much improvement, right? But when you purify the nadis, your intelligence is like, think about it, bro. So it's that much amazing and perfect. Good. Now how to purify that? But it is possible. It is humanly possible, because many YouTubers, many this and that, they just like practice it and they purify the nadis. It is very much possible. It is humanly possible to purify the nadis and to get those powers, right? There are various techniques to do that, but which I would like to suggest is Nadi Shodhan Pranayama. I will do it for a moment, but not much. Sit down properly. Take your hand, take these two fingers, keep them over here. This is very Agnya Chakra is, okay? So you're also focusing on Agnya Chakra here, so you can feel the heat, cold, whatever. So you're just feeling your Agnya Chakra. So keep your hand over here. Keep your thumb on one of the nostril, okay? This is for this nostril, and these two parts for this nostril, all right? Now breathe out, one nostril closed, from the next nostril, perfectly. You got the point. I'm not going into deep, but you got the point. So that's Nadi Shodhan Pranayama. or channel cleansing pranayama technique. Now I add variations into this technique. For example, when I breathe out, I hold my breath out, and that's how, saving your breath. Breath is a currency, I told you. So I'm saving my breaths. I hold it out, and for a certain amount of time, then I breathe in, then I hold it in, and then I breathe out, hold it out, like that. It goes. In that way, you also go into a trance, and your nadi and your channels clean themselves. Your body heals itself. Perfect. Perfect. There is a lot of technique to gain power, superpower, supernatural powers, supernatural intelligence, just using your breathing techniques. This is how important the breath work is. But for this video, that was enough, guys. I suddenly start to feel this sense of sadness into me, because I can see the subscribers. It's only 39. Not many people watch these videos completely, so I feel kind of foolish, because this knowledge is big, and I want to give it to many people. And when I see only a small amount of people is watching this, I feel sad. I feel bad, right? So share it, subscribe it, tell your friends to subscribe them, because I have experienced it, and I'm telling you my experience. Plus, I'm developing with you guys. So you're learning, I'm a learner, but I'm just a bit ahead. So I'm teaching you guys how to catch up to me faster and faster and quicker, and what mistakes you shouldn't make, what I made. Follow my Instagram, follow me on Instagram, connect to me on Instagram, and see my content, daily content, self-improvement content there. And yes, see you guys into the next video. What was it saying again? Follow me, you sure grow. Bye.